All right. Hopefully people can see me and hear me now. And I have no idea why things were going so weird. Okay. Whew. All right. Now I think things are working and I see 2 viewers now. So I don't know if anyone heard any of my introductions. And see, this is the reason why I didn't introduce myself, because everything looked fine on my end, but apparently a bunch of people were seeing just my background with my lovely sage stick and my tarot cards, but they weren't seeing or hearing me. So I have no idea what just happened there. I just hit a quick refresh, and now it seems like everything's working, and we have Katie verifying, hello, I can see and hear you. So thank you very much, Katie, for rolling with me. And of course, we're going to get started a little bit late tonight because tech issues happen. Shit happens. I was just saying this over on my Instagram, and you just got to roll with it, man, right? I had big and lofty goals to do my makeup before the start of the episode, and to maybe do a little cute pre-show over on my Instagram to show how I do my makeup before these, and I just didn't have the time. And then we had even more stuff with the tech glitches. Yeah, I know. Isn't that weird, Katie? Like, I thought everything was working, but this is the reason why I always test and I always look before we really start the episode. So we're really starting now. Let me put on my lip gloss. Let me give myself a little seltzer break here, and just let me know if something becomes glitchy, and I will try and fix it midstream. But it is nice to see you, Katie, and anybody else that is watching live or watching the replay. Welcome to the first episode of 2021. This is Tarot by Hilary live. Let me pull up my name here. It's Hilary. I am a professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful gifts, your own intuition, because yes, my friend, don't argue with me. You have intuition. I believe that everyone has intuition. So on this week's episode, we do not have a set topic, but we do have the schedule of episodes over the next month. What I've been getting into the practice and habit of doing is making myself an editorial calendar and listing, looking at the calendar and looking every Friday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when we do this thing over on Facebook and on YouTube. Looking at the Friday night and seeing what events are happening around that date, looking at the astrology around that date as well, and picking out what topics you would like to hear about in upcoming episodes. So, and I kind of try and structure it around a theme. Perhaps the theme of January is new beginnings. Perhaps we have an astrological event that may be happening, or a holiday that may be happening. For example, in November, we were talking a little bit about gratitude, since that's traditionally when Thanksgiving is held in the United States, where I am living and where I am from. But for our international viewers, you are more than welcome to these episodes. Everyone's welcome to these episodes. So I've been doing that for the last couple of months, and I found that it's been very helpful. It gives a good structure, and also I can then show you the planned episodes ahead of time so that you can tune into the episodes live that you want to see live. And it's always more fun to watch these episodes live, but I love my replay viewers too. So just because you can't feel that you can show up to one of the lives, which is, again, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Friday night, doesn't mean that you can't get a benefit out of these episodes. Like, whenever you are watching these episodes, whenever you're viewing it, whatever message you get, either from the astro-weather at the top of the episode, from the topic that I'm teaching, or from the weekend forecast that I give at the end of every episode, when you are hearing that message through time, space, wherever you're at, you're meant to hear that message at that particular day or time, whether or not you're a live viewer or whether or not you're watching the replay. So that's how I feel about it. So that is the topic of tonight's episode, is giving you a preview of upcoming episodes over the next few Fridays for the month of January. And then the start of February, we're going to do it again, and I will give you an overview of what we're doing for February episodes. So, as always, if you have a topic in mind that I haven't covered yet, or if you want to revisit a topic that I've already covered, there are archives of the replays available for your perusal over on Facebook and also through my YouTube channel. You can check that out. Not now. Don't leave. Don't change the channel. But there is a year's worth of episodes that you can tune into after this episode. And we can either revisit a topic that we've already covered, or we can talk about a new topic. So I am here for you. Previous episodes have included forecasts for the year, the 5s and the 7s of the tarot, the aces of the tarot, the court cards of the tarot. Mostly we're focused on tarot because I am a tarot reader. But we have talked about things like Ouija boards, mediumship, crystals, energy, synchronicity, how you interpret intuitive informations or how you receive psychic information, different psychic games to build up your intuition, your intuitive muscles, because yes, my friend, you do have intuition. I believe that of everyone. So yeah, that's why I do these episodes, and that's kind of the rundown for these episodes. So Katie is saying, yes, the connective energy is timeless indeed. So let me introduce you to the structure of these episodes. At the top of the hour or the top of the episode, we talk about the astro-weather, and we get that from astrologer and tarot reader Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady, from her wonderful Astro Biz Digest. I would highly recommend signing up for that. It's $99 for a year for the subscription. You can find that on her website, thetarotlady.com, if you're interested in purchasing that. But I usually give the astrology straight from there, just a little taste of it for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because I don't want to take all of that information that she is giving so lovingly to the subscribers and using it and have her not profit from her work. So if you want more of that kind of stuff, the astro-weather, you can definitely subscribe to the Astro Biz Digest. Then I teach the topic, and then at the end of the episode, I give you the weekend forecast, either pulling from a tarot deck or from an oracle deck, and I give you a 1-card reading for the weekend, basically. So, and then I send you on your way, and I will see you again next time. So that's the structure of these episodes. So let's get started with the astro-weather from Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady. Boy, it has been, it's been a really, okay. I know I was saying I was busy. I know I was saying we had some tech issues and tech snafus that were happening, and I don't know why. Everything was set up correctly, and then we had some permission snafus happening that I had to like resubmit everything. So we should be good now. I'm gonna just peek over to YouTube to make sure and pull up a tab for Facebook as well, just to make sure we're still recording and we're still good. But I'm seeing that Katie is still here checking in and viewing through Facebook. So we should be all right now. But I want to see, one, if my alerts came up. And if you would like to know when I'm broadcasting again, I mean, we do have a regular, consistent live schedule, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But, you know, tech glitches happen. So if you want to be notified, whether you're viewing through Facebook or through YouTube, I believe there is a little notification bell on both channels. So you can subscribe to notifications either way, just so you know the next time that I do this, or if I do a surprise pop-up video as well, the next time I go live, you will be notified if you sign up for those notifications. And they're completely free, so why wouldn't you do that? Let me entertain you. Let me make you smile. And make sure that that is muted as well so that I don't have an echo chamber in here. All right. Looks like everything's going well. So it's good to know. Good, good, good. Seems copacetic. So we're going to keep going. Let me go ahead and pull up the AstroBiz Digest. Actually, why am I doing it here when I can do it through my iPad? I'm going to do that through my iPad so that I don't get disconnected or not see what's going on with the video, right? Work smarter, not harder, right, folks? Right. Okay. All right, we're ready. We're ready. We're ready. Are we ready? We're ready. All right. Let's see. Have you ever noticed when you're concentrating, sometimes you'll stick out your tongue a little bit? I've noticed that. I do that when I'm putting on mascara for some reason. AstroBiz Digest, weekly forecast for January 4th to the 10th. So that would be this week. All right, so there's been a lot of stuff going on, especially today, the 8th of January, which is when I'm recording this, if you happen to be watching the replay. So we've got Mars drip. Sorry, not Mars. Actually, Mars entered Taurus on the 6th after being many months in Aries, which it's comfortable in because that's, I think it's natural correspondence, Mars being in Aries. So next planet to move signs, Mercury, which will drift into Aquarius on the 8th. So that would be today. So let's start out with Friday. Again, this is coming from the AstroBiz Digest by Teresa Reed, aka the Tarot Lady. If you'd like to subscribe to the AstroBiz Digest, you can find it on her website, www.thetarotlady.com. Okay, Friday, the cosmos are busy on Friday, starting with Mercury waltzing into logical Aquarius at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All of the times are Eastern Standard Time, followed by Venus heading into Capricorn at 10:41 a.m. What do the planets of communication and love have to say about business in these signs? Because remember, the AstroBiz Digest has an entrepreneurial business kind of slant to it. However, I find the astrology to be very pertinent for my personal life as well. So I kind of use it for both my business, planning my business, but also my personal life. So planets of communication and love. So One second. Mercury in Aquarius, Venus into Capricorn. All right. Yeah. So a lot of stuff going on today. Mercury drifts into Aquarius on the 8th. Mercury is the messenger, and Aquarius is all about innovation, logic, and the future. Your communication with the public can be as far out as you want during this transit. Shake things up. Share your boldest ideas. Speak up for the collective and take a stand against ignorance. This is also a fabulous transit for upgrading your tech skills. Ironic, folks. Why not learn that newfangled program or master your iPhone? Get your tech geek on and you'll be ahead of the curve. Well, I'm a little bit behind on the curve because I did have some tech snafus tonight, but through no fault of my own. I just hit a little refresh though, and it seemed to work out. There's no better time for mapping out every goal for the next year as well. Put all of those details on your calendar and you'll be all set. Mercury will be in Aquarius until March 15th. So this is a great time and also part of the reason why I decided to do this episode on putting those details on the calendar, putting these episode topics on the calendar so that you guys can tune into the episodes that you want to see. Or you can just tune into every episode, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lastly, Venus will head into Capricorn on the 8th as well. The perfect transit for getting your finances in order. Make an appointment with your financial advisor so you can make smart moves this year. You'll also want to go over your profit and loss statements for errors and loopholes. Again, you should do this personally, your personal finances as well. Once you're clear on where you stand, you can confidently invest in your business and in yourself. Also, communication with clients in the sign of the goat is best when it's kept serious and professional. Folks want facts, not a clown show. Keep it real and don't take people's concerns lightly. Venus will enter Aquarius on February 1st. So that's a lot of Aquarian energy along with Capricorn, Venus being in Capricorn. So that's a lot. We've got a lot of transits today, right? Okay. The moon will be sextile with the sun at 11:11 a.m., angel numbers, followed by a trine with Neptune a few minutes later. This dynamic duo creates incredible energy for getting your marketing on. This is also a great spot for exclusive deals for your VIP clients. Reward those who have supported you well in the past year. Creativity hits a new octave with the sun in sextile with Neptune at 11:53 a.m. So all of these transits have happened already today, with it being Eastern Standard Time. Spend some time in crafting new web content, brainstorming ideas. This is also a peak period for intuitive insights. Pay attention to those ideas that seem to come out of the blue. They could be genius. You'll also want to trust your gut if you're making big decisions today. The moon will be void at 8:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that's coming up, guys. Perfect for closing things down. Avoid social media temptation tonight. Mercury will square off with Mars at 9:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And all of the online assholes will be in rare form. Trust me, give that none of your precious attention. Today is a power day for Scorpio and a weak day for Taurus. So, are you all still with me? Let me know, and I will continue on to Saturday and Sunday. I need to put this down for 1 second because I need a little bit of seltzer. Remember, hydration is important, just in general, but also, especially when you're delving into the mystic or the metaphysical. If we're good, if we're ready to keep on going, if it's resonating for you, give me a hell yeah, and we will keep going. Also, my text messages are blowing up right now. Katie says still here. Good, Katie. Sorry, my co-hosts for Cardslingers Coast to Coast are blowing up my text messages right now, so I find that very funny. Like, don't you know what I'm doing right now? Y'all know. By the way, quick segue, we do have a new episode of the Cardslingers Coast to Coast podcast. You can subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And that episode is talking about, oh, Lisa's here too. Hi, Lisa. I don't know when you crept in. So Katie's still here. Lisa's still here. Let's keep on going. Awesome. We do have a new episode of the Cardslingers. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa says, loving the podcast. I've been catching up this week. Awesome. So this week's episode, so new episodes are released every second and fourth Friday. And you can find them wherever you subscribe to your podcasts. This particular episode was one that we recorded really on the fly, and we changed up our scheduling, basically the order in which we were going to release the podcast, because we had a listener question. And we make the joke that we have only 7 listeners, but obviously, hopefully we have more than that, but that's just our little tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. But so we love listener questions. And if you want to shout us out, send us a DM over Twitter. It's Cardslingers CC. Is our Twitter handle. And I think we also have an email address as well on Gmail. Send us your questions. We'd love to hear them, and we'd love to answer them for you on an upcoming podcast episode. So one of those listener requests or listener questions is, would I be welcome in the Cardslingers posse if I don't intend to ever be a professional tarot reader or ever make money for my tarot readings? And the short answer is yes. Oh no, I shouldn't have mentioned. Speaking of, one of my co-hosts, that's the lovely Melissa Sanova. Best 7 ever, as in best 7 listeners ever. We have a very loyal audience, obviously. But yeah, the short answer is you are more than welcome to come hang with us. Come sit with us. On Wednesdays, we wear pink, you know. So that episode is now out there for your listening pleasure. And I say some pretty inappropriate things in that episode. Sometimes I just don't know what's going to come out of my mouth. So it was that kind of episode. And we were feeling a little snarky. At least I was feeling snarky when we recorded that. So enjoy. New episode out there for your listening pleasure. Aw. Thank you, honey. And this is without makeup too, so thank you even more. Okay, let's keep going with the AstroBiz Digest. Okay, so moving into Saturday, folks. Saturday has a lot going on, while Sunday is quieter than a church mouse. That's fine with me. I would like some peace and quiet. A little bit of peace and quiet. Saturday's Sagittarius moon creates the perfect vibe for bold marketing. And by the way, Sages out there, that might mean that that's a power day for you. Power day is actually both days, but I'll get to that. So Saturday and Sunday are power days for Sagittarius. Just a heads up for those Sages. Oh, my skin is actually, I've been breaking out a lot lately. That's why I kind of given my foundation a little bit of a rest. I've been using a lot of creams. So I've been subscribing to Ipsy, and I'm kind of loving it, and I'm a little bit obsessed with it. So if you want to know makeup stuff, I'm going to do some of that over on Instagram, because yeah, why not? I feel like Instagram is a little bit more forgiving for that kind of stuff. And I want to be an influencer. So anyway, Sagittarius, bold marketing, Sagittarius moon. Launch a new program, pitch the media, send in book proposals, hit the main stage to share your truth. This is not for the shy. The moon will be in lovely angles with Mercury and Saturn starting at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Excellent for promotions of all sorts and public speaking. Oh, I see a typo there, but I'm not going to point it out. It's one of my horrifying typos that I am always paranoid about doing, but it's okay. We all make mistakes, right? Venus trine Mars at 10:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time brings the creative muses out, making the rest of the day superb for creative self-expression and PR campaigns. Basically, bottom line, be seen. And you could strike a chord and make that cheddar. Another sextile between the moon and Jupiter at 2:18 p.m. makes people feel optimistic and ready to spend. Serious conversations with your team can happen at 10:17 p.m. when the moon aligns with Saturn. Schedule a late night discussion about plans for 2021. If there are problems with your team, this is the best time to hash it out. Sunday finds the moon void starting at 1:29 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Why push yourself today when it's too delicious for sleeping in, Target runs, or an all-day cooking spree? Business can wait until Monday. Both days are power days for Sagittarius and weak days for Gemini. Oh boy, and here is my other co-host for the Cardslingers Coast to Coast podcast. So, did I invoke you guys? I didn't answer your text messages, but did you sense that I was talking about you? I didn't tag you or anything, or did you get the notifications? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. It's either the Psychic Friends Network that's happening, or, we're just up in each other's business all the time. Which is totally the case too. Yes, unfortunately, the editor cannot stop not seeing the typo spelling mistakes. Yes, my day job is as a copy editor and copy edit manager. So yes, Katie, you're very correct. Sometimes I can't turn it off, but sometimes I also won't be a dick about it and point it out when I don't need to point it out. That's my stance. So let me get myself a little bit of my Peppermint Cream Lasting Smiles lip balm. Ipsy! You guys are blowing up my chat, but I kind of love it. So Melissa says, I remembered. Also, I'm psychic. Oh. We've invaded. Okay. And we're president and co-president of the Hilary fan club. That's very sweet, guys. I appreciate it. We send them psychic messages to get on here and support you. Well, they do that all the time. We are our own best cheerleaders of each other. And that's really, maybe I should do another episode of that, or do my own podcast for that. I mean, I do have my own individual podcast, which is mostly based on these weekly episodes. But honestly, you have to have a support system. You have to have people cheering you on. You have to have masterminds, and keep on encouraging each other to, and be each other's support systems, because sometimes this is a really weird business, guys. It's bizarre, the kind of requests that I get. It's bizarre. I posted something on social media about the email that I got the other night. And I was up too late. I was very insomniac last night. And my husband was snoring too. So that didn't help matters. Sorry, but it's true. And so I posted something that I was thinking about at the time around 1 a.m. With a screenshot with names withheld to protect the not so innocent, about the kind of emails that I get out of nowhere and without any kind of greeting, without any kind of anything, I'm not a performing monkey. I'm not a tarot robot. Neither are my co-hosts of the Cardslingers Coast to Coast podcast. Neither are my other colleagues or people I refer people to. So it's just can you have just a baseline of understanding that you're reaching out to a stranger, but it's also a human being that you're talking to and not a performing robot or monkey. So it's fun. It's fun. And that's part of the reason why we have this up, this little widget. Free reading requests will be ignored because this is not the space for that. I give away so much every week. I do card of the day. I didn't get to do one today because I've been super, super busy, but shit happens. But it's just like, if you're a regular viewer, you already know my spiel. You know how much I give away. I give the astrology at the top of the hour and the weekend forecast at the end of the hour. And I'm always posting card of the day or different oracle cards. So it's just like, if you want a free reading, like, it's already out there in the ether and you can find it on my social media. And like, I can't do more, because then I won't have a business. Like, if you want a reading from me, you can pay for one and book one. And wouldn't that be better for everyone? Just a thought. So Zuri is here. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me do this in order because we're really blowing up and I love it. Support team to unite. Zuri is here saying hi to Jamie. Hi, Zuri. Hi, everybody going down the list. And this is part of the reason why I like this third party Be Live, even though I do pay for it. It's like, it's great. I can shout out people. I can display comments below here. I can display images or tarot cards. And I'm going to do that after we've done all this in here to show you a finalized version of the editorial calendar. Look, like, I am blowing up shit here, right? So that we can discuss the upcoming episodes, right? Katie is saying it was such a rude message, wasn't it? Wasn't it? So, I'm not putting that out there to complain. Well, a little bit. And I'm super, super grateful to everyone that books with me, for all of my regular clients, for all my new clients. I'm super grateful for Teresa, aka the Tarot Lady, who's been my business mentor for a very, very long time, almost 10 years now. Actually, it's going to be 10 years in April because, when I won the Tarot Apprentice contest, that was, a mentorship relationship that was supposed to last a year. And it did. And that was very intense. But she's always on my ass. And she has been on my ass for the past 10 years. And that's how I've been leveling up, because I have people in my life that care about my tarot business and about me and want me to succeed. So that's why we need that support system. That's why we need people to talk to about the weirdness that is this business, because it's a business like anything else, but there's also some really specific weirdness that surrounds professional tarot readings too. And I'm so sick of not talking about it and making like everything's okay. It's like a real epidemic of free reading requests. And it's just like, there's free reading tarot exchanges out there. Like, what are you doing knocking on the doors of professional tarot readers that pay for their readings? Don't get me started. Sorry that I did start, right? But it was rude, right? Melissa had to go eat, but I love you. Also, Hilary reads for me and is brilliant. Yes, that's true. Thank you, Melissa. I always get a little bit like embarrassed for some reason, like when you say that, but like Melissa has said to me, and we're gonna do an episode of the Cardslingers podcast where it's just like, how do we do this and how do we read and what happens when we read and just how do we do what we do? And it's an interesting topic because like I'm not aware of how I read or how some of these things come off because I'm in that reading space and it's just like, I just do it at this point. It's become so automatic that it's just like, this is how I read. So sometimes it's nice to kind of go backwards and extrapolate it and like find out like how other readers read to kind of take a step back and be like, that's interesting. And also be really appreciative of how other people read and how I read, because there was a time when I was doing readings and I wasn't necessarily charging for them, but I was like so self-conscious about how I read. And also my boyfriend at the time was a tarot reader or read tarot cards. And I was so intimidated by how he read because he was very good at summing up the reading and all these different cards. And I was having trouble, finding the through line, finding the theme, finding how these individual cards stacked up and told a story and became this cohesion. He was very good at that. I was very self-conscious about it. Now, of course, I'm not as self-conscious about it because like I just read in a different way to him, and that's okay. Like there's enough room out there for all kinds of tarot readers, and we want to hear how you read, and we want that uniqueness, because if I didn't, like, if I want a different perspective, I'm going to go to a different tarot reader. I'm not just going to read the cards for myself. I can, but if I want somebody else's perspective, I want somebody else's perspective of the cards. So if I ask you for a reading, or if I book a reading with you, please don't be intimidated by the fact that I'm a professional tarot reader. I know that's easier said than done. Trust me, I know. But I'm asking for what you are seeing, what you are intuiting. That's why I would book a session with you, and vice versa. So everyone's saying their goodbyes, their Melissa, to their Melissa, my Melissa, our Melissa. So Jamie's saying, what a nifty editorial calendar, so organized. So yes. Hey, remember, Jamie, remember what we were talking about before we started recording the episode that we did last week or this week? This is the Passion Planner. So passionplanner.com. This is a printout of the January overview. So I told you, I haven't gotten my Passion Planner yet for this year. I've ordered it, but there's delays in shipping. And you know what? That's perfectly okay, guys. Like, don't harass small businesses if you haven't received the package yet. It's out of their hands. Okay? Okay. Just a PSA there. I know a lot of small business owners that are product-based instead of service-based, and they are like going through a nightmare right now, and they feel really bad that you haven't received their packages yet too, but it's out of their hands once they've gone to UPS or wherever it is and shipped it out. So, and that's the reason why they usually get tracking numbers too. So bizarre. I'm like obsessed with my friend Lori's candle company, Bedazzled Witchery. Her Etsy shop is closed for the season right now. It will reopen, but check her out. So this is the Amas Veritas candle that I purchased from her. It's like burned down really weird. It smells delicious, like pumpkin pecan pancakes and lavender and a whole bunch of different goodness. But I ordered from her, and her order went like all over the place, out of state, like to Massachusetts and back again. It was bizarre, and there's no freaking reason why. So she was annoyed by that, but I also understand it's not her fault. It had nothing to do with her. So anyway, so yeah. The how we read one is going to be really interesting for others to see how readers do what they do. Yeah, I'm personally very interested to see like how Melissa reads, how Jamie reads, how I read, and the differences. What's the what was the just stop for? Like, just stop harassing small businesses? Like, your packages are on their way. I don't know. And we don't know why they went to Hawaii instead of Massachusetts, instead of Florida. Like, I don't know. I had problems back in July when we were sending out our taxes. For some reason, like, our accountant is in state, but for some reason, our tax documents went out of state to come back in state again. I'm just like, what the hell? What is going on? Oh, the candle smells. Just stop. I know. Like, sorry. And I can actually I want to give her a shout out. So let me find it. I'll find it. I will send it to you guys. You're going to get obsessed. But she is on a break right now. So, like, nothing is listed in the shop because she takes winter break from December 13th to March 2021. So, in March, start looking, okay? And this Amos Ritas candle was part of her Practical Magic collection. So she got one was Amos Veritas, one was Blood on the Moon, and one was Midnight Margaritas. And they all smell fantastic. She's amazing. Her name is Hilary, and her company is Bedazzled Witchery. So yeah, yes, exactly. I'm gonna shout her out to the rooftops. Like, you know how amazing she is. Yes, and we do enable each other for definite. Oh yes, we enable one another for all the goodies. Like, before we started, so I think, so I would say that Kendra is considered our producer for our podcast episodes. And so sometimes we go on and on and on before we even start the recording for the episodes. And so I think it was Monday night. Was it Monday night or was it Tuesday night? I can't even remember. We have a regular recording schedule and we kind of like stockpile our episodes. We started going down a rabbit hole of stationery and desk and office and desk supplies, and it just, it was not good. And I'm like, ooh, like, we are magpies. Like, you think we're bad with tarot? We're just as bad with stationery as well, and candles. Katie says that description is making me hungry. Yeah, it smells, and I mean, it smells amazing even when it's not lit, so that's even better. Sounds amazables, and this is the link here. So you have the link now on both over Facebook and over YouTube. So it's just etsy.com shop Bedazzled Witchery. Okay. And we record Mondays and Tuesdays on a fairly regular basis, and we try to record at least 2 episodes each night. And then sometimes it doesn't happen and sometimes it does, but we get into a rhythm. Again, consistency is sexy. And Kendra's here too. Oh my God, Kendra, our wonderful producer that makes us look so professional and awesome. Thank you, Kendra. Like, if you want to know why we sound so amazing, Kendra, squee, hearts. The stationery was on Tuesday. Yeah, the stationery description was on Tuesday. Anyway, let's not go down that path because then we're going to be here all night. Let's stay on topic. Okay. So, I forgot to put this into the agenda, but let's talk about the January shows, folks. And let me bring up my cute schedule of events that I'm going to post later on. And I'm going to try and pre-schedule stuff and do everything. I don't even know what the topic is. You don't need, the topic is the January shows for tonight, folks. Showing the editorial calendar, showing the different dates and times that we're going to do the live shows and what the topics are. So this is the announcement episode. So let me take away some of the branding off of here. Take away the logo and put back up the logo. Show planning. Yes, exactly. Show planning. So tonight's episode is talking about the episodes for the new year, and for January in specific. And then in February, at the start of February, I'm going to do a similar thing for February, so I can tell you all what the plan is, what the slated episodes are going to be. And once again, if there are any topics that you want me to cover, anything you want me to talk about, please go ahead, send me a message, send me an email. Let me know what you want me to talk about, or let me know what you want to learn, and I'm happy to teach it. So for Friday, January 1st, there was no show because it was New Year's Day. I needed my time off. You needed your time off. let's all relax. So hopefully you did that on Friday the 1st. Today, Friday the 8th, this is an intro to the month's episodes, plus the astro-weather and the weekend forecast. The astro-weather we just did at the top of the episode, and we will do the weekend forecast after we're done talking about these episodes for January. On the 15th, so next Friday, this is one that if you like predictions, if you like year ahead forecasts, you want to tune in live for that episode. We did a crazy tarot reading for the collective for the year 2020 back in January, I think towards the end of January. And we kind of all did it together. It was like for the collective, from the collective, where I gave my interpretations, but I allowed everyone that was watching live to give their interpretations. And y'all, it was crazy. It was so crazy that I did an episode, like a watch party, to revisit that episode, especially when we got into the first months of the pandemic. And we were just like, all right, were there any signs here? Like, no one saw this coming? Like, what's going on here? So, and we went back, and I think it was March that we got the death card reversed, and it was like this weird black fog or whatever. And I think nobody said pandemic, but they said something like disease or the spreading of toxicity or something like that. And it was just like revisiting that episode was crazy balls. So hopefully we have better things in the future for 2020, for 2021, like the vaccine, like a light at the end of the tunnel for all of this. Because I'm continuing to work remotely, both in my day job and my tarot business, booking my my appointments with my clients over phone, over Skype, over email, because online readings, folks, they're just as good as in-person readings. I know we all want to see each other, but right now it's just not safe to do so. Let's get real. Let's be good to ourselves and to each other. And, you know, we're in the home stretch, hopefully. So let's not add to lengthening this. Let's try and decrease and not necessarily get back to normal, but get back to something that we all can be together again, right? Anyway. So that's what we're doing next Friday, or this coming Friday. Tarot reading for the collective for the year 2021, month by month. So that I use the I use the Wild Unknown Spirit Cloth, which has a bunch of different spreads on it. And one of those spreads is the 13 Moons reading, which is actually... I had a derivation of a spread that I came up with called the clock spread back when I was doing the Tarot Apprentice contest. And I realized there's nothing entirely anything new under the sun, just variations on a theme. So I realized that spread can be changed to planning months, or each card for each of the 12 months. And then the 13th card in the middle is the theme card for the year. Which can be either determined by birth card, or year card, or by just shuffling and pulling the card. So I like to shuffle and pull the card because tarot will usually come up with a card that's absolutely perfect and meant to be. So, so that's what we're doing next week. Tarot reading for the collective for the year 2021, month by month, starting with January, going into February and back to December. And the 13th card is like the theme of the year, bringing it all together. So if you're interested in those kind of forecasts, you want to tune in next Friday, the 15th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. Now, for Friday, on the 22nd of January, we have tarot birth cards and year cards. Now, I wanted to revisit this topic. We did do this a little bit, I think, last year, but I realized we did an episode of the Cardslingers Coast to Coast podcast talking about birth cards and talking about year cards. But when we did that episode, the recording, I realized that the episode that I did here for the Friday night workshops, I didn't calculate my year card correctly. And it turns out that what I thought was a chariot year for me ended up being a Tower year for me for 2020. So for those of you that attended that episode and got the Chariot card just like me, it was actually a Tower year for you. Sorry about that. That's the reason why I want to revisit that episode with new and updated information and correct information about how to calculate your tarot birth cards and year cards. Okay? Okay. This is me giving basically a mea culpa and trying to rectify that. And then finally, on the 29th of the month, Friday, the 29th, we're going to use tarot cards for affirmations, which I think is a great topic to cover in the month of January, because especially towards the end of the month of January, when we're starting to lose steam perhaps on our New Year's resolutions or goals, if we chose to set New Year's resolutions and goals, I think it's high time to bring in tarot and use tarot for something other than divination, affirmation setting. So, are you all still with me? We got a lot to cover this month, and I'm so excited to bring these episodes to you. So, let me know in the chats, in the comments, how you feel and what you're interested in seeing, and if you have any suggestions for future episodes that we can do into February, into March. You can drop them into the chat here as well. I'm looking at all comments. So Jamie mentions our birth card episode is scheduled to be released around March or so. So if you're looking for the Cardslingers Coast to Coast podcast episode on that, that's going to be around March. I'm going to still be teaching tarot birth cards and year cards on here Friday the 22nd. And then you can look out for that episode when it comes out in March. And actually, that was a really fun episode to record for the podcast, because we used Melissa as a guinea pig, and I don't think she was entirely happy about it. But in the end, she grudgingly saw some, personality traits or glimmers in her tarot birth card. So if you're interested in what her tarot birth cards are, you're just going to have to tune into that Cardslingers Coast to Coast episode. So Lisa says, sounds good. Katie says, I'm liking the plan. And actually, originally, the plan was going to be doing the tarot reading for the collective tonight, but I just didn't have any time to do any lead time beforehand. And I really wanted to have some lead time to generate some interest, have as many people show up live as possible for that, because I know that's going to be a fun episode. And that's one that everyone likes. Like the freebie seekers, you can't complain. I'm giving you a tarot reading for the collective. I'm giving you that free reading, and then the regular viewers also enjoy it too. So it's something for everyone. And I know sometimes you can't please everyone, but in that particular episode, I think I'm going to be pleasing a lot of people. Jamie says, oh, she hated the reflective mirror we held up. In the end, she found it helpful. That's another reason why I love tarot. I just can't help it. It's a mirror. It's another way of looking at stuff. It's a pattern recognition. That is what tarot reading can be. So that's the episode. And we're gonna don't go anywhere. You still got the weekend forecast. And let me take away this and show this. So I also have the URL for both the Facebook page and for the YouTube channel. I think on Instagram I accidentally said Hilary_tarot. That's not the case. It's Hilary Tarot, no underscore, no nothing. Spell Hilary with one L. Should be good. I, for one, am pleased. Good. So any questions, any comments, anything before we move on to the weekend forecast and I let you get on with the rest of your day, evening, etc.? I myself have a email reading to get to tonight, and also I believe it's a phone reading tomorrow morning. So like I have been pleasantly surprised, but also really happy about how busy I've been for readings. And please keep it up, people. Again, if you want a reading with me, I've got a wonderful online scheduler that I use so that it takes out all of the back and forth emails, back and forth, and you could just schedule online, tarotbyhilary.com, and book there. And my availability is all there. It's mostly week nights after 6:30 p.m. to about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm usually available, and weekends from around 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. I believe. Since I'm not booking tarot parties at this time, I've condensed my availability a little bit. I'm still interested in wondering how I can set up like Zoom parties, but at the same time, I'm just like not set up for it, and I don't necessarily know if I want to do that. I'm sure it works, but there are other colleagues that also do that and have the setup for that. So I just usually refer people. Yeah. Kendra's got a lot of episodes to edit for the Cardslingers Coast to Coast podcast, and we love her for it. She makes us look professional. Sometimes when we were very, very not professional, as you'll see in this week's episode that we just released, where I said a phrase that I didn't think was going to come out of my mouth, but came out of my mouth. And you'll just have to listen to the episode to find out what that phrase is. And we can also talk about Zoom parties off show sometime. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really concerned about it because, like, I work in, like, again, I work in the way that I work, and I feel pretty comfortable in how I work, and I don't feel really like I need to add on one more thing. So I'm always happy to refer to readers that are already set up to do that and feel comfortable doing that. I was hoping no one would catch on. Katie, damn it. It's Aquarius Protestant of Astrology, so it's time to face the Zoom challenge, LOL. I was hoping you wouldn't catch that. I know. I just said that from Teresa's Astro Biz Digest. Ugh. Spoiled again. You're absolutely right, Katie. Maybe I do have to give it a chance. But I mean, I'm familiar with Zoom. I am familiar with it. I've been on there. I've been on Zoom. I've been on Skype. I've been on this. I'm just like, my head hurts from all the screen time. So, but you're right. Maybe it is time for me to figure that out and go with the Aquarius energy. You're right. Okay. So that is the schedule of upcoming episodes. I'm glad you guys are pleased with it. People are ganging up on me right now. I don't know if I entirely like it right now, but it's okay. All right. Let me go ahead and display the weekend forecast. And before we get into the weekend forecast, let's just run down the list again. Friday the 1st, no show. It was New Year's Day. Friday the 8th, that's today. Intro to this month's episodes. And we're going to, of course, give you the weekend forecast. And we've already given you the astro-weather. Next Friday, the 15th, tarot reading for the collective for the year 2021, month by month. You want to tune into that one. Friday, the 22nd, tarot birth cards and year cards. And then Friday, the 29th, using tarot for affirmations. So I will be posting that schedule on social media probably sometime tomorrow. I'm going to give myself a break tonight because I've got a reading to do. So give me some time and I will post that. I'm also going to send out a newsletter, I believe, tomorrow as well. I planned on doing it yesterday and I didn't have time today, so I'm going to send it out tomorrow. And it will be what it will be. I'm cutting myself a little bit of slack. Whew. Okay. Let us take off the logo and put back on the stars. All right, are we ready for the weekend forecast? That was a big, beautiful episode. I'm so glad you guys were here for it, whether you're watching live or watching the replay. And what I feel that I'm going to do now for the weekend forecast is pull from the Scorpio Sea Tarot, which has been my main jam tarot deck for the last 2 months. And it was really a surprise to me, and no shade being thrown to Melissa, who wrote the text for the companion book. You see this behind me. I'm kind of liking, if you're noticing that I'm trying to change up the backgrounds, you are correct. So this is the Scorpio Sea guidebook back here. So the text is by Melissa Sanova, the artwork and the Scorpio Sea Races, the fictional book, is written by Maggie Stiefvater, and she also did the illustrations. So the Scorpio Sea Tarot, when I was first sent it, Melissa sent it to me. I didn't really dig it, and I didn't really unwrap it, and I just kind of put it to the side. And once I unwrapped it and once I started working with it, it really surprised me, pleasantly surprised me in such a way that it was like a coming home to the deck. So I would really say, like, go with tarot decks that interest you, that you're drawn to, but also give different tarot decks a chance. You know, they may surprise you in unexpected and unimaginable ways, and you may find a new favorite tarot deck to be working with if you just give it a chance. So that's what I'm going to say about the Scorpio Sea Tarot. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the deck and grab this. I'm going to take out the card that I had previously pulled. So this is not the weekend forecast, not the weekend forecast. I had pulled earlier today the Five of Cups, which is kind of a not great card. But I never got around to posting an interpretation. So this is not the card of the day. I'm not posting the card of the day, and this is not the weekend forecast. I'm going to just take this out. We're going to put it back in the deck. We're going to shuffle fresh, and I'm going to get you a new card that will serve as the weekend forecast. Okay? Okay. Put that back here and grab this. So if anyone has been wondering, I've been using Ipsy, which is like kind of Stitch Fix for makeup. Little sample sizes being sent every month, and they have this cute little bag. If you're wondering what I've been using to put my tarot decks in, I'm starting to use these Ipsy bags. This was from October's Ipsy haul, and it says Your Magic on one side, and it has like this kind of like almost astro makeup-y thing. Super cute. So I took out the makeup, and I've been using the makeup, but it is the perfect size for a tarot deck. So if you're wondering where to get bags, or if makeup bags can serve as tarot deck bags, the answer is yes. So let's slip that back into the deck, and we're going to shuffle fresh. And we're asking that question, what do we most need to know for the weekend? What is the weekend's forecast? So let's do it. Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. So we are getting for the weekend forecast the King of Cups. So everyone can see the King of Cups. Yes, 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 yes. So when I am working with a tarot deck that has a wonderful companion book, and it does have a wonderful companion book because Melissa, that dropped in here before, is the text writer, is the interpretation writer for this particular deck, and also helped in creating it and making it tarot-y. Because yes, and tarot-y is an adjective. I just made it up. but it's an adjective. It works. It's a real word. You want to be very cautious sometimes when you're working with a tarot deck, because sometimes there are illustrators out there that don't know the structure of a tarot deck. And sometimes it's a good thing that they don't know, because then they can work with a tarot expert to kind of figure it out and then convey that in their work. And sometimes the tarot deck author is the same as the illustrator. And then that can be really fascinating to see what makes the King of Cups to them. What artistic depiction will they do for the 78 cards of the tarot? And sometimes there's a disconnect between the illustrations and what the tarot card is, which is kind of sucky, and it kind of renders a tarot deck useless in a way. So that is definitely not the case with the Scorpio Sea Tarot. So I always like to use the tools that work. And if a companion book is a good resource, then go for it. So what I like to do when there is a good companion book is I read from the companion book and then I give my own interpretation. So let's look up what Melissa Sanova has to say about the King of Cups for the Scorpio Sea Tarot. Let's find the cups. Find the cups. Find the lady or the king. And it has wonderful illustrations, full color illustrations of the card as well. So look at that owl, folks. All right, are we ready? Let's go. So the King of Cups, keywords, one, upright, which it is, stable, embracing, and devoted. The solitary and wise long-eared owl is efficient and never frivolous. Who better to represent the level-headed gravity of the King of Cups? He has lived through the folly of love and caring and loves anyway, by his own rules. He has firm boundaries for his protection as well as yours, and he's not going to flex them. This is our goal, folks, to know how to love ourselves as well and as deeply as we love others, to embrace our heart family and their flaws with them, to understand that failures do not define us, but the fact that we stand up again does. Allowing all the pain and hurt and vulnerability to come in and building a fully textured shield around it. This is the wisdom of the King of Cups. So what does everyone think about that interpretation? That's Melissa's. I'm ready to give mine too, but I tend to agree with hers. I just tend to expand on what she's already written because it's really good. All right. So, for the weekend forecast, keep in mind everything that the text that's written by Melissa. Yeah, exactly. See, and this is my problem. It's almost like I can't really add on an interpretation when that interpretation is so damn good. So, but I'll try. But yeah, like this weekend is an emphasis on your heart and your heart family, not just your biological family, folks. There is a toughness when we talk about family, because when people talk about family and they have difficult relationships with their mothers or their fathers or estrangement or toxicity or narcissism, when I pull a card like this, they're just like family, and it's just like, that's not what family means. Like just because it's biological family, it doesn't mean that that's your heart family. That's not the family. Like your heart family is the family that you choose, not the family that you were born into. And sometimes what is healthier is to not let that shit slide or distance yourself from that, because you can't logic your way out of dealing with an illogical person. Like you can't argue with a crazy person. How about that? And crazy is not probably the right terminology here, but it's just like if you love a narcissist, or you have a mother or a father that's a narcissist, or a sibling, there's no amount of love or self-esteem or respect that can change the fact that they're a narcissist. So it's almost as if you have to change your expectations of what you will and will not put up with from them. And that is the difference between biological family and heart family. Like, I think we make a lot of excuses for the family that we're born into simply because they're family. And you kind of can't. And this is speaking as someone who deliberately walked away from a family member for a number of years. And while there was an estrangement there, and while there was a reuniting or a reconnection there wasn't really a rehabilitation or a I don't know, there wasn't really an acknowledgement of the reasons why there was an estrangement for that long. So there wasn't really a reconciliation, truly. So remember who your heart family is. And I can speak this with certainty. Jamie and Melissa are my heart family. Kendra is my heart family. My husband is my heart family. Some of his siblings and my in-laws are my heart family. People that I've known for a number of years, my best friend is my heart family. So it's just like choosing the family that you have by choice instead of by blood. This is something that you need to focus on this weekend. The King of Cups, this is where we want to be at. Big heart, strong boundaries, right? Exactly, Kendra. You can't reason somebody out of something that they didn't reason themselves into. Yep, pretty much. So how do I add on to an interpretation that's so spot on? I just tried. I just attempted to. And there's validation there. You is my heart family too. Same with Kendra and Melissa. So, and by the way, if you guys are hearing that in the podcast episodes, it's because it's true. If you feel like, oh, this is actually me just sitting down at a table and gossiping or talking with people that love tarot, well, then we've succeeded in what our podcast is meant to do. It's supposed to be inviting and welcome and, a roundtable discussion. Yeah. So Lisa says, great quote, Kendra. Yep. So I'm going to leave it with that. Like, remember your heart family this weekend. And if your biological family is doing things that you don't want them to do, or crossing your boundaries in only the way that they can. We had a past episode on boundaries. Remember when I said family boundaries are usually the hardest? Because they've pushed your buttons the longest and the most. They know how to push your buttons, They installed those buttons, right? So just know that it's okay to establish boundaries with your biological family too. It's okay. And know where your heart family is at. King of Cups from the Scorpio Sea Tarot. So speaking of all of you, you are also my heart family. I thank you so much for watching and tuning in every week. I don't do this. Like, if I didn't have you guys, I wouldn't be doing this. There would be no reason to do this. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm going to go and do my yoga practice and eat my dinner and do my email readings and get everything done. And, oh, good, wonderful. Katie says, I go back to that episode every now and then to remind myself about boundary setting. Great, that's what it's there for. Not just those episodes that you've already seen, but also if you want to revisit them, you totally can. That's what they're there for. So heart emojis, boundaries are so important, and I'm there with you. Yep, awesome. So let me take that down. Let me put this back up again. So I think we're done. I think we're done. We're done with the episode. So have a wonderful weekend, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm looking so forward to next week's episode, Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am going to be, okay, structure of next week's episode, just a preview. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be shuffling up. I'm going to be taking out that spirit cloth. And I'm going to be doing the 13 moon readings and pulling those cards ahead of time so that I've got a picture to display on screen as we're going through each card by card. That way we maximize the episode time, so we're not getting waylaid by shuffling. How about that? I will shuffle and I will pull these cards ahead of time. All right? Okay. So everyone's saying thank you, and have a good evening. Thank you, Hilary. Thank you for showing up and showing up for yourselves and showing up for your heart family this weekend. So without further ado, let's wrap up. Once again, I am Hilary, professional tarot reader, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful gifts, your own intuition. Please don't argue with me. You have intuition. Everyone does. I thank you so much for watching. And if you want a reading with me, you can totally book one right down here, tarotbyhilary.com. Remember, Hilary with one L. And I look forward to seeing you again on next week's episode and in my inbox if you book an appointment with me. I would love to be able to serve you through the magic and the power of the tarot. Have a great night, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Remember your heart family, and I will see you next week. Bye.